Joe Folsom. I'm the Director of the U.S. Small Business Administration in the Des Moines District. I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremonies this afternoon, honoring our class of 2010 for SBA's Emerging 200 program here in Des Moines. 3 years ago, Des Moines was selected as one of the first 11 cities nationwide to participate in SBA's Emerging 200 initiative. The goal of E200 was to identify 200 inner-city businesses across the country that showed a high growth potential and to provide them the network, resources, motivation, strategies to build a sustainable business within designated inner-city geographical locations. The program was so successful that SBA continued it in 2009 and again in 2010, with Des Moines being selected as one of 22 cities to participate this year. The cornerstone of the program, for those of us that haven't been through it, is a in-depth 80-hour educational program that ran from April this year through last night. In fact, we had the final presentations by the class this past evening, and the program focused on topics such as organizational management, growth strategies, business management, market development, strategic planning. The selection of Des Moines was a prestigious one as one of the 10 urban areas to participate in the program. The training initiative this year, as part of the expansion to 22 cities or communities, was also included an expansion to Native American communities. Along with Des Moines, other cities include Albuquerque, Atlanta, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, Gallup, New Mexico, Jacksonville, Memphis, Tennessee, Milwaukee, New Orleans, Oklahoma City, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Portland, Santa Ana, California, Seattle, Tucson, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. Bringing this initiative to Des Moines was a real team effort. At this time, I'd like to recognize and congratulate the following for their efforts in making this possible. From Bankers Trust, Rob Reinert. Business Innovation Zone, Mike Caldwell, I don't believe he's here. City of Des Moines, Office of Economic Development, and the Corporation for Economic Development, Terry Borbrick and Rick Clark, City Manager, and really appreciate the city's engagement here. Des Moines Area Community College, Urban Campus, Lord Douglas has been our primary contact there. Greater Des Moines Partnership, Meg Fitz and Martha Willits, and I believe one or both of them will be here lately. I don't see them at the moment. Iowa Department of Economic Development, represented by Doug Lewis. Iowa Small Business Development Centers, Jim Heckman, State Director. Iowa State Bank, Diane Belize. Iowans for Social and Economic Development, work closely with Chuck Palmer and Deborah Carr. Neighborhood Development Corporation, Heidi Wessels. SCORE, counselors to America's Small Business, Jack Maples, who was with us last night. The State Public Policy Group, John Rossman and Tom Slater. United Way of Central Iowa, Shannon Cofield. U.S. Bank, Carla Kuzanowski and Dave Ogburn. VentureNet Iowa, Jenny Condon, who is here, and John LaMarche. Wells Fargo, Kim Jones. We at SBA are excited about this program and what it's done and its potential for long-lasting benefits here in Des Moines. At this time, I'd like to introduce Des Moines City Manager Rick Clark, who is here today representing the city, and the city helped make it possible to bring the class program here for the last 3 years. Rick?
Well, thank you so much. It's really terrific to be here. You know, if you're the city manager of a city like Des Moines, one of the things that you'll learn real early on is that the thing that makes a city like Des Moines, or any city for that matter, thrive and survive is the extent to which we can have business growth within our community. Those cities, as you all know, that don't keep growth and don't keep jobs in their community have a really hard time making ends meet. I absolutely love this program, and we were talking just a bit before I got up here. The fact that this is a program about people learning how to make what they do better, is great. We're not talking about giving people money or grants or tax abatements or anything like that, although we do all of that. This is a program that enables people to do what they do and do it better and be more successful. You know, one of the things that I've learned in my work over the years is that there's sort of two kinds of people. There's one sort of person who tends to sort of rest on their laurels, and they do what they do, and they do it pretty well, and they make ends meet, and they're going to do things tomorrow a bit like they've done things yesterday. The other kind of person is a person who says, you know what, I can do what I do, but I can do it better. And they invest time in themselves in such a way that they learn how to do what they do and do it better. That's what this program is all about, in my mind. It's about helping people that go through the program do what they do and do it better and learn how to run a business in a way that's more effective and think about the future and think about how to make strategic investments that they can do better. This is a program, I think, that is one that demonstrates the participants and the graduates' commitment to not only themselves but to their business, to their customers, to their employees, and from my standpoint, most importantly, to the community. It is just a great program. Some of the things that pro forma-wise that I want to say here to you is, number one, of course, congratulations to the class here. I understand this is the third class. I was talking earlier to Scott Carlson, who says he was one of the first graduates. Scott's a great businessman, and he attributes, I think, part of his success in running his particular business to the things he learned from this class. So Scott is a great testament to the success of the program. As was said a moment ago, the City of Des Moines was a co-sponsor. I'm very pleased that we were a co-sponsor of the program, and I can assure you that we'll continue to be co-sponsors as we move into the program in future years. So that's really the main points that I want to say. I, again, want to congratulate the class. I thank so much the SBA and the leadership of SBA for doing the program, and for the people that are graduating today and for those in the past. Thank you so much for your commitment to this program, for your commitment to your business, and for the commitment that you've made to the City of Des Moines. Thanks.
Thanks, Rick. We greatly appreciate the city's support. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Associate Administrator for the Small Business Administration's Office of Entrepreneurial Development, Penny Pickett. E200 is administered through Penny's office in D.C., and we're pleased to have her with us today here in Des Moines, and we're going to show her our beautiful city.
Y'all are a little taller than I am. I'm really, really glad to be here. I haven't been back to Des Moines in a few years, but it seems so energetic, and things have changed, and it's really moving, and that's the exciting thing, and that's why E200 kind of feels good here. I like coming to the graduation and actually seeing the people who are being affected by the things that we do. And it's because of your success and your hard work and the accomplishments that you have that we're able to go back and tell the policymakers, yes, continue. And it's even better for trying to get some money to do it. So your accomplishments, the things that you do, are very, very important to us. But the local partners really make it work. SBA is a great place to work, and Joe is a district director who really, really puts everything into being part of the community and doing the things that SBA likes to do for the community. But it wouldn't work without the local partners. And we want to thank you for stepping up, understanding how important it is to support the people who are willing to step forward and take time out to enhance themselves and their businesses. The beginning of this is, as Joe said, back in 2008, and now we're in these 22 cities. Last year, we were, as an agency, a little bit more focused on the Recovery Act because we were in a real tough time. SBA was able to take, under the Recovery Act, $680 million and leverage that into about $30 billion in lending. Now that's putting money into the hands of small businesses. In fact, over 70,000 businesses got money under the Recovery Act. Unfortunately, that expired at the end of May, so with the Small Business Jobs Act, the middle of September, we're able to continue that lending. And we're very excited that that will help. But smart people who have trained in courses such as E200 make better customers for the banks, make better risks, and keep the borrowing in a much higher level. During recovery, we also did, it way exceeded our government contracting goal. It's supposed to be 23%, and under the recovery, small businesses were getting over 30% of the government contracting. I don't know if anyone in our classes is looking at that as a customer base, but the federal government is a huge customer. So now with the new Jobs Act, we can actually go up to $5 million under the 7A and 504. Our microlending has increased to $50,000 from $35,000, and all of these things are being made permanent. But one of the keys in the Small Business Jobs Act that we're excited about is our small business development centers, our women's business centers, our SCORE chapters are much more able to expand the work that they do in counseling and training, so that as you graduate from here, you always have the ability to work with both the local district office, but our resource partners as well. We hope it's a helpful time. I think the most amazing thing is that so many of you took that time, that's 100 hours in 8 months is a lot of time away from your business, to stop, get involved, do the work, and graduate, because you know it's going to take you to a better place with your companies. So congratulations. We'll be watching, because your success means the program's success and keeps us able to continue it. So I can't wait to hear your stories. Very glad to meet you, and congratulations. I'm taking all of yours.
That's okay. Thank you, Penny. And at this moment, I'd like to introduce Martha Willits. She timed this just right. Martha is President and CEO of the Greater Des Moines Partnership, and a very great partner with us in E200 and a number of other things here.
Thank you, Joe. I will catch my breath and a drink because I've lost my voice today, but I don't want to miss the chance to say congratulations and a big thank you to all of you who are graduates. Are those name tags? Do I know who I'm looking at, or everyone? The graduates. Let me. Good. Thank you so much for the time you've given this. I had the pleasure of speaking, I think, last year or the year before, and it's really always moments of graduation and accomplishment are fun to be a part of, because what could be a better moment? But Becky just said thank you to all of you for making the program a success. I hope I can bring a message to you of thank you for making this community even richer than it was. The partnership is committed to growing the economy. We work with our public partners and all of the businesses in the community to make sure that this is a thriving region for our own families, for those who would join us, to help our own businesses and the businesses that are here grow. And you've shown real personal dedication to helping that business growth. And I know some of you, quite a few of you, and I know that taking 80 hours or whatever that was out of your days and weeks and months is hardly imaginable, quite frankly. But I grew up in a family-owned business, small one also, and I know that meant opening the door at 7 a.m. and sometimes not closing it all night or working. And so how you find the time to do the community things you do, so many of you, and I'm sure all of you, but also to commit this personal time. It was just a few short years ago the term lifelong learning started adding our vernacular in an ever stronger way. And I remember being, I thought I was a learner, but a little puzzled. I wonder what we mean by that. The partnership was kind of then part of a big visioning process, Project Destiny in 2003. And what spawned out of that concept that we're all lifelong learners was the early childhood efforts, state government putting money on early childhood, the downtown Papa John's Center sort of was spawned with the idea of downtown university presence. But this idea, I think, is really a rich, rich description of lifelong learning, that even those of you that are so successful in businesses, the ones I know sitting there, have continued to learn and grow it. So a big thank you from the business leadership of this community, who is working every day to hopefully with you help your businesses, but for all of us. So thank you and congratulations. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Martha. And again, at this time, I'd like to invite one of our graduates from the class of 2008 Tom Halterman of Outcome Pharmaceutical Healthcare to come forward to say a few words on how E200 has helped his business.
Good afternoon. I'm Tom Halterman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Outcomes Pharmaceutical Healthcare. I want to congratulate this year's graduates for completing what I think is an outstanding program. Over the years, I've attended numerous different conferences, seminars, programs, and I like to gauge the meetings I attend in terms of actionable ideas. I look for a speaker or a fellow participant, something to said at the meeting that causes me to think, well, that's a way I can improve my business. And that's what I call an actionable idea. And I gauge the meetings I attend in terms of the ability to take away actionable ideas. And what I recall most from my E200 experience was going to work the next morning with sometimes pages of actionable ideas. And they were ideas on how these ideas led to new management tools, new thought processes, new markets. In some cases, they led to personnel changes. And I'm not sure that our staff always loved me coming in on Friday morning with a couple pages of actionable ideas for us to work on. But few would argue with the results now. And as you might guess, with our company name being Outcomes, we're very much in the business of generating outcomes for our clients. So I thought it would be fitting if I shared some outcomes that our company has experienced since the E200 program. So in 2008, we were far from being a startup company. We were in our 10th year of operation. We were profitable. We were debt-free. We provided good jobs and benefits to a dozen different employees. Neither our board nor our investors really felt like we were disappointed in our growth, but we all also recognized that the company had significantly more potential. In the 2 years following E200, our company revenues are up 347%. I should point out that there ended up being a typo on the program. In my quote there, it says 34%. That's 347%. Profit is up 300%. Payroll has grown by 182%, and we've hired 18 new full-time staff members. We expect this growth pattern to continue through 2011 and beyond. We owe much of this success to the E200 program. I certainly want to thank the Small Business Administration for making this available to me. I want to thank the program sponsors who have been involved throughout the years. Obviously, our instructor, Monica Dolezal, and mostly my classmates, some of which are here. The opportunity to interact on the level that we interacted with other business owners was what I felt was the most valuable part of the program. It was a fantastic experience, and I'm proud to have been part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Now I'd like to invite one of last year's graduates, Catherine Staub of Lexicon Consulting, Inc., to come forward and say a few words about her experience with E200.
Hi, I'm Catherine Staub with Lexicon. First of all, congratulations to all this year's graduates, and a huge thank you to all of the sponsors and the instructors and the staff that supports this program. It's a tremendous program. I think they should have switched the order. I don't have quite the impressive numbers that Tom does. I do not have 347% growth rate to report or 18 new hires. That's tremendous, and congratulations to Tom. I do, however, do have a success story, and I feel that in large part that's due to my experience with the E200 program. It was incredibly valuable. I've summed up what it meant to me by switching my attitude from working in my business to working on my business. That's how I condense it all down. My business employs writers, editors, graphic designers, a photographer, so we're in the journalism field, the integrated marketing field. 2009, when I went through this program, not a good time for any of the fields that we're in. You know, you're seeing headlines, print is dead, journalism down the tubes, marketing was one of the big areas that even though there were messages saying, you know, you can't stop marketing in a down economy, that's when you need to increase your marketing. The reality was marketing, communications, all of those areas felt like some of the easiest to cut. So we were in a scary time for my profession, and one of my goals that I shared with my staff at the start of the year was I'm going to keep everybody employed, I'm going to keep all of our benefits, and if we can just hang on exactly where we are for right now, we'll consider that to be a success. In this calendar year, things have not changed hugely in our industry. However, as a result of what I gained from the E200 program, I have really taken the time to focus on the business. I've stopped acting as a writer, I've stopped acting as a copy editor, I've stopped acting as an editor, and I've really focused on the bigger picture. Absolutely still serving our clients, absolutely paying attention to what my staff is doing, but also looking at what are the strategic goals for our business, how do we best serve our clients, what new prospects and markets are out there that we can tap. And as a result, this year I've brought on 3 new full-time positions. We're serving a broader client base. All of you are familiar, of course, with the growth action plans that you had to put together. You know, when I was initially starting those, Monica, I was thinking, action plan for growth. Stay in business till the end of this year. But no, I don't think that that'll fly very well. So it was like, okay, no, I'm going to land this new client, and I'm going to expand this way, and I'm going to hire these people. And here I am a year later, and we've done it. So it's, but it is in huge part to the E200 program that said, you know, if you do focus on your business, if you do write down goals and all the steps it takes to accomplish those goals, those things are going to happen. So I'm certain that they will happen for all of you as well. Congratulations, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you, Catherine. We've heard from some of our alumni. At this time, I'd like to introduce one of this year's graduates, Chad Halfield of Silent Rivers, Inc., who will talk about this year's E200 program in the class of 2010.
Well, it's hard to come off of such success stories and talk about what we did this year, but I think we laid the groundwork for what maybe a few years from now we'll be able to be up here and share numbers like that, or just, I mean, where'd she go? Well, did she just bolt? Well, I mean, I can relate to that whole story because it's, you know, marketing and construction. I mean, you're in 2 different realms, but they're really hard pressed in the marketplaces right now. So, but I wanted to recap this year and recap a little bit about how I see the E200 Club and really the success of these wonderful people over here who we've gotten to know really well in the last 6-7 months, or 100 hours, as you said, which is also another way of looking at it. A lot of work. But entrepreneurship keeps coming up, and for me, entrepreneurship is visionary. It's people that are taking the chance to step out into a new direction, step out into business without the support of somebody else's leadership. You're taking that leadership and you're running with it. And so often, entrepreneurship tends to go blind initially, and I'm going to just go that direction. And I think for me, the E200 Club, or E200 class, could be a club. I mean, we'll start that up. There we go. There's another. But I break my thought. But it helps provide the structure to that vision, and you know, you'll see some of my initial thoughts in your program. I touched upon flexibility, accountability, and cooperation. But as I've been kind of running through this a little bit more, so much of it is about how do you take that vision and anchor that vision that you have as an entrepreneur and bring it down into good business strategy, good business practices, and bring these two together. As an entrepreneur who tends to dream a little bit more than I should, or maybe rather has a more challenging time taking that dream and putting it into reality, which is, I think, a more challenging task. I think the program and the curriculum, when I talked about flexibility, that's what it was about. It was trying to take an idea and then bring it into a model that's successful so that we can drive a positive economic growth. And that's a real challenge, I think, for many entrepreneurs, because we just kind of jump off and go. and then look back and say, oh, shoot, how did we get here? So for me, that's been a very important part of that process. Monica, I write accountability. Monica held us to task. I'm sure some people, we know a few people that were on time, but a lot of us were very busy. I remember emails going out, well, the gap is due. In fact, the gap was due, and the gap is needed. Let's turn it in. So that accountability, but I think also what happens is the CMG groups hold each other accountable, and we challenge each other to stretch and to dissect each other's businesses and bring it together. So that sense of collaborative work is what spawned the third word that I talked about, which is how do you support each other, because while we might not be in the same industry or sector of this market, we have a lot of the shared challenges, a lot of the things that are consistent with the curriculum. And so then last night, we were talking, we all presented last night. Some of you were there, some of you have done presentations before your final presentation. And one thing that I've been noticing is that business is fluid. And what the program has done for me is helped put together a structure, because while I know change is inevitable in the marketplace, and we're experiencing a lot of that in the last few years, it doesn't mean demise. It just means that your plan changes. But if you have a plan, it's a lot easier to navigate in a changing field. And it just means that I can look at that plan and say, okay, well, I wanted to go over here, and now I'm over here because the river shifted or the tides moved over here. And how do I redirect and then reset a target that's further out? That's how you grow. And it seems to me that's very evident with even looking back at each gap. Because as I prepared for last night's meeting, I noticed that some of the things that I said in Gap 4, I actually had said in Gap 1. And they changed slightly, but they were very similar goals that needed to be worked on as I was working through the process and getting prepared for growth in 2011. So, in summary, and a bit esoteric, if you will, the planning, well, the E200 was, to me, a mix of mind and heart. It was a sense allowing me to, this is where I got a little bit sketchy with my writing, trusting both the strategic planning that goes with good business and the intuition that goes with entrepreneurship, and bringing those two together, because I think that's what makes great businesses, is being able to know when to stay on task and when to shift and move in a different direction because the plan's not working. And but without the plan, you can't get there. So yeah, I essentially said that. So I said the same thing in like 4 different sentences in 4 different ways, and it's just it's that adjustment. So I do want to thank the SBA and Monica. I mean, really, the curriculum and the program that you brought here, I think all of us benefit from. And I mean, you brought a great team together again this year. I would say I should ask on behalf of this group, it would be awesome to see a 4th year. I know a person back there would love to be in it, even though she doesn't fully admit to it yet. But I think it's an exceptional program, and thank you very much for letting me participate.
Thank you, Chad. And now it's time to honor our graduates. graduates. We greatly appreciate your hard work and dedication, and I hope you found the participation in the program unique and valuable. Thank you, and we want to thank all of you for making it a success.
If you have questions or for more information, contact Joe Folsom at 515-284-4026. E200 is open to small business owners and executives that have been in business for at least 3 years, have an annual revenue of at least $400,000, and your business must be located in one of the designated areas of Des Moines. The only cost is your time and a commitment to complete the curriculum. Want to be a part of the E200 class? Contact us at 515-284-4422 or online at www.dmoed.org/e200.htm.